persistence, so too will your new thoughts carve out the man you have chosen to become. Every night you will listen. Every night you will repeat. Every night you will plant. And in the daylight you will walk taller. You will speak with clarity. You will act with direction. Because your mind will no longer be an echo of fear, but a voice of authority. I will guide you through every part of the process. You will learn how to give commands to your subconscious. You will learn how to shape your identity while you sleep. You will learn how to replace fear with faith and confusion with order. You will learn to repeat the truths that build destiny. These next hours are not passive. They are not casual. They are sacred. As you lie back and absorb these teachings, your mind will absorb what your will affirms. Your voice will become your compass, and your belief will become your bridge from this moment to your ideal life. You are not just listening to a voice. You are listening to the future version of yourself who already knows success. You are listening to the identity that is waiting to be built. You are listening to a man who does not hope, he decides. So expect no miracles tonight. Expect instruction. Expect a new mental order. Expect a new voice in your own soul, a voice that says, I am the master of my fate. I demand of myself the highest standard. I feed my mind with power, faith, and certainty. I rise, I act, I persist, I do not turn back. Let this be the beginning of the end of doubt. Let this be the end of fear. Let this be the death of indecision and the birth of your definite purpose. Tonight you become the gardener of your own mind, and I will walk beside you, and let us begin. The subconscious mind never sleeps. It does not close its ears when you do. It does not rest when your eyes shut. Long after your body has sunk into stillness, your mind continues to take instruction. It listens. It absorbs. It executes. Silently, obediently, and without pause. Every man is giving orders, whether he knows it or not. He may not speak aloud, but his dominant thoughts speak for him. They whisper fear. They repeat doubt. They replay failure like a broken phonograph hour after hour, until the mind accepts these patterns as reality and begins to build a life around them. You are never inactive. You are never not becoming something. Every thought permitted is a brick. Every emotion repeated is a blueprint. Every image you hold with feeling becomes form. This is not theory. This is law. And the law does not care if you know it exists. It will still build your future in its image. Understand this: the hours of sleep are the richest soil for mental planting. You have no resistance, no logic to block you, no environment to distract you, only suggestion, pure raw suggestion, and that suggestion, if repeated with faith, will shape the iron of your character and the gold of your results. Most men use this time to rehearse disaster. They fall asleep thinking of their failures, their debts, their regrets. They imagine worst-case scenarios. They reanimate arguments. They allow television, gossip, worry, or fatigue to pour weeds into the garden of their mind. And they wonder why they wake up no stronger than they slept. But you will do the opposite. You will take command. You will not allow the night to drift by uncontrolled. You will use these sacred hours to instruct your subconscious with purpose. You will give it clear, repeated, definite orders, spoken with emotion, reinforced with belief, and repeated until they are carved into your very identity. Henry Ford did not dream of failure before bed. He visualized entire assembly systems running efficiently before they were even invented. He imagined cars produced so cheaply that every man could own one. And he became what he believed, not because he hoped, but because he repeated it so often that his mind could not conceive otherwise. Thomas Edison did not fall asleep in fear. He often drifted into unconsciousness on his workbench, focused so intensely on solving problems that the solutions would arrive in the night. He gave orders before he slept, and those orders bore fruit. He believed success would come. And so it did, because he told his subconscious so. You will now begin to use the same law, and you will begin now, this very night, not with hope, not with doubt, but with calm authority and spiritual certainty. Speak to your subconscious as a general addresses his troops, as a king addresses his people, as a master addresses his servant. Say to yourself, I am the type of person who directs his mind. While I sleep, my future is forming. I feed my subconscious with faith, order, and belief. My rest is sacred. My rest is instruction. Let these words echo. Let them settle. Let them become the new rhythm of your internal voice. Do not speak them casually. Speak them with feeling. Speak them as if your future depends on it, because it does. Your subconscious is a receiver. It does not argue. It does not resist. It accepts what is repeated with emotion. It hears belief, it hears faith, and it obeys with divine exactness. This is why your results are never an accident. They are always a reflection of your dominant inner speech. The world has trained you to think passively. It has taught you that circumstances shape your life. But I tell you now, the truth is the opposite. Circumstance is the effect. Thought is the cause. And the cause is always under your command once you know how to give the order. What you attract is not what you want. It is what you believe, what you repeat, what you emotionally hold in the theater of your mind when no one else is watching. And it is this internal process that must now become conscious, disciplined, and definite. As you lie down tonight, I will instruct you to give yourself to this process with all your mental power. See your definite chief aim as already complete. Speak the attributes of your ideal self. Visualize the version of you who already commands wealth, health, order, confidence, and peace. Do not wait for it to feel real. Repeat until it becomes real. The man who waits for feeling before he acts is a drifter. The man who repeats truth until it becomes feeling is a master. You must master yourself before you can master results. And you must master thought before you can master self. Do not worry if it feels unfamiliar. All success is unfamiliar at first. You are building a new pattern. The old you was built through years of unconscious suggestion. You are now building the new you with deliberate thought, chosen affirmation, and repeated belief. Let no thought pass unchecked. Let no fear be rehearsed. Let no doubt be spoken. And if one arises, replace it immediately with truth. Say, that is not part of me. I no longer feed failure. I am becoming what I instruct. My subconscious obeys my word. The repetition of these truths is not a gimmick. It is law. Thought repeated becomes belief. Belief repeated becomes habit. Habit repeated becomes identity. And identity shapes every decision, every action, every result. This is not opinion. This is spiritual mechanics. You must not allow the world to choose your identity. You must not allow television, fear, or failure to become your instructors. From this moment forward, you choose, you lead, you build. Every night your subconscious is open. It is listening. What you tell it determines what it creates. Your wealth, your relationships, your opportunities, they are all shaped in this sacred silence. You are the sculptor. You are the architect. And the tool you must now wield is auto-suggestion, spoken with faith, repeated with certainty, emotionalized with desire. As you fall into rest tonight, say aloud, I am the type of person who creates his future. I plant faith. I plant courage. I plant power. My subconscious is a servant of my will. Every night I grow stronger. Every night I become more definite. Let these words become the lullaby of greatness. Let them become the new rhythm of your thought. Let them echo long after the voice fades, because while the voice may stop, your mind does not. The old world ends tonight. The new self begins now. Your mind is your garden. And tonight you must begin to treat it as sacred land. You must understand this fully. Whatever is planted in this garden, be it fear or faith, doubt or desire, clarity or confusion, will take root, and it will grow. Your mind, like the soil of the earth, does not judge what is planted. It only brings forth what is sown. If you do not plant deliberately, weeds will take root by default. That is the nature of neglected land. And that is the nature of the unguarded mind. Confusion, fear, insecurity, hopelessness, these are the weeds that grow when the gardener is asleep, distracted, or indifferent. And the world, being full of noise and opinion, will sow these weeds freely into any mind left open and unattended. Most men do not realize their divine duty as mental gardeners. They go through life reacting to whatever the world throws at them. They listen to the fears of others, absorb the doubts of the news, dwell on past failures, and call it realism. But realism is often just the refusal to cultivate thought. It is the language of mental laziness, and it breeds mediocrity. You are not here to live like that. You are not here to let others decide the crop of your life. From this moment forward, you must take back the tools of the gardener, the trowel of conscious suggestion, the water of repetition, and the sunlight of faith. You must dig up every root of fear. You must pull out every vine of hesitation. You must till the soil of your subconscious until it is ready to receive only what you have chosen to grow. Tonight, I ask you to walk through the garden of your mind. Close your eyes and see it. What is growing there? What images have you allowed to flourish? What beliefs have you tolerated that do not serve you? What stories have you repeated so many times that they now grow like trees, unchallenged? Now see yourself walking through that space with authority, with fire in your spirit. Begin to remove what does not belong. Uproot every phrase that starts with "I can't." Burn every belief that was planted by those who gave up on their own dreams. Tear out the shame, the hesitation, the excuses, and the false identities. You are not the man others told you to be. You are who you decide to be. Once the ground is cleared, you must begin to plant. You must sow thoughts of strength, clarity, power, discipline, faith, and purpose. You must plant the belief that you are becoming the man who acts, the man who follows through, the man who does not drift, does not doubt, and does not quit. You must plant these truths night after night until they grow so large they crowd out all lesser thought. And how do you plant? You plant by repetition. You plant by affirmation. You plant by feeling. Speak these words aloud tonight with calm force and unwavering belief. I choose what thoughts grow in my mind. I am the gardener of destiny. I am the type of person who plants only what strengthens me. Every night, I cultivate the character I wish to become. These are not empty lines, these are seeds. And if you plant them now, if you return to them each night, they will grow. They will shape your language, your posture, your habits, your discipline, your boldness, your endurance, your success. But only if you repeat them, only if you feed them. You must also water them, and the water of the mind is repetition with emotion. Dry affirmations do nothing. But when you speak a truth with belief, with vision, and with feeling, you charge that seed with life. The subconscious responds not just to words, but to emotionalized thought. Thought soaked in belief becomes law. So visualize now. See yourself walking through the rows of your mental garden. See healthy trees of courage rising. See vines of persistence crawling up the trellises of your thought. See flowers of faith blooming where fear once lived. This is your new world. This is your private territory. Guard it, tend to it, visit it nightly. Do not allow weeds to return. If you catch yourself replaying failure, remove it. If you hear the voice of criticism, silence it. If fear tries to return, declare out loud, fear has no root here. This soil is sacred. It grows only power. I am no longer the man who tolerates weakness. Every seed I plant is worthy of harvest. This is not poetic talk. This is law. What you plant, you will harvest. And the harvest will come not by chance, but by cause. Do not expect tomorrow to look different if tonight you plant the same thoughts that built yesterday. You must become disciplined in your mental gardening. Every night must be a ritual, not a vague wishing, but a deliberate act of mental cultivation. This is your greatest work. More important than any meeting, any strategy, any opportunity, because all opportunity is filtered through your identity, and identity is built in the silence of repeated thought. The man who masters this becomes unstoppable. He walks into rooms with calm power. He speaks with certainty. He makes decisions swiftly. He persists with endurance, not because he is lucky, but because he has tended his mind like a sacred field and it bears the fruit of order. You must not leave this to chance. Most men never take this seriously. They let the weeds grow. They say, it's just a thought, not knowing that thought is the first cause of everything they will ever be. Do not be like them. Be the exception. Be the man who plants greatness and waters it daily. Now repeat these words as you prepare for rest. I do not allow weeds to grow in my mind. I plant only what I intend to become. I am the type of person who prepares for greatness in silence. My harvest is inevitable because my planting is deliberate. You are not simply listening to a speech. You are reprogramming the very soil of your destiny. You are taking control of your most sacred asset, your own mind. And this power, once claimed, can never be taken, only neglected. So do not neglect it, not tonight, not ever again. All transformation begins with this tool, auto-suggestion. You must understand this word, not as a concept, but as a weapon. It is the bridge between who you are and who you intend to become. It is the only method by which you can issue instructions to your subconscious mind, and it is the single most powerful tool ever placed in the hands of man. No man rises above the suggestions he permits. No man ever created wealth, greatness, love, or certainty without first telling himself that it was possible and then repeating it until it became inevitable. Auto-suggestion is not wishful thinking. It is not fantasy. It is not the blind repetition of empty phrases. Auto-suggestion is self-command, issued with belief, repeated with persistence, backed by desire, and absorbed by the subconscious through emotion. You are always suggesting something to yourself. The only question is, are you choosing it? Or are you letting the world do it for you? Most men walk through life under the control of other people's suggestions. Their teachers told them they would never be leaders. Their parents told them to play it safe. Their friends mocked their ambition. Society whispered, be realistic. And so without realizing it, they accepted these ideas and made them their own. And what they accepted, they became. But you will not live by suggestion from the outside. You will live by instruction from within. You will speak words not of fear, but of faith, not of limitation, but of power. And you will repeat those words until your mind has no choice but to obey. Let me make this clear. Repetition is the key to mastery. Repetition is how the subconscious mind learns. It is how new beliefs are installed. It is how confidence is built. It is how desire becomes belief and belief becomes action. And it is how you will rewire your very identity. Henry Ford was not the smartest man in the room. He was not the wealthiest man to start, but he was the most definite. He suggested to himself, day and night, that he could build a car affordable to every man. And he repeated that belief until it shaped his reality. When others said it couldn't be done, he said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. That was not just a saying. That was a philosophy rooted in auto-suggestion. The same was true for Andrew Carnegie. He repeated to himself that he would dominate the steel industry, and he did. He told himself he would give away more money than any man who had ever lived. And he did that too. Before any act, before any result, there was belief. And before belief, there was repeated suggestion. You must now build the same habit, but not once a week. Not only when you feel like it, you must do it every night with intention until the very walls of your mind echo your command back to you in the morning. Here is your truth. If you do not give your mind instructions, it will obey the suggestions of fear, failure, and fatigue. If you do not speak belief into your soul, the world will whisper confusion into your spirit. If you do not affirm strength, your mind will default to weakness. You are the commander. You are the voice of authority. You are the master issuing orders to the most powerful assistant in existence, your own subconscious. And this assistant never questions. It accepts whatever is repeated with emotion, and it builds your results accordingly. Let us now make this practical. Each night, as you lie down to rest, you must begin your autosuggestion ritual. Do not wait until you feel like it. That is the mistake of the average man. You speak the truth until you feel it. You repeat the words until they become real. You plant the belief until it grows deep enough to sustain itself. The subconscious mind accepts only that which is repeated persistently and emotionalized with belief. This means you must speak your affirmations with feeling. You must believe that what you say is already becoming true. You must speak not as a beggar hoping for change, but as a king declaring what shall be. Here is your nightly command. I am the type of person who reprograms himself nightly. I use repetition to build identity. I speak truth to my subconscious and it obeys. My words create who I am becoming. I repeat what is powerful. I reject what is weak. These are your tools, and you will use them with discipline. Now let us go deeper. What should you be suggesting? What is worthy of your nightly repetition? Only this, the man you intend to become. Describe him clearly. Speak of his courage. Speak of his certainty. Speak of his wealth, his clarity, his discipline. Do not speak of what you want. Speak of who you are. Because if you suggest to your mind that you want something, it will believe you do not yet have it. Instead, declare, I am, I do, I act, I follow through, I persist, I lead, I build, I create. Speak in the language of identity, not desire, and repeat these declarations until your subconscious begins to form the corresponding habits, the matching attitudes, the aligned decisions, and it will, because that is its nature. Let us pause and make this more specific. Take your definite chief aim and reduce it to a single clear statement. Speak it out loud. Feel it. Visualize it. Repeat it. Say, I demand riches of life with definite purpose. I am building a fortune through clear action and persistent faith. I do not hope. I do not wait. I act with purpose and power. These are not dreams, these are commands. You are programming your system, and the system will respond. Every repetition plants a deeper seed. Every night waters the garden. Every phrase carved into your mind becomes a permanent groove, and that groove becomes character. Some will say, this is too simple. Let them say it. They are the ones who complicate their failure while mocking the simplicity of success. Great men do not require complex formulas. They require clear commands repeated faithfully. That is the work. That is the way. And now let us address doubt. At first your mind may resist. You may say the words and feel no change. That is to be expected. Your old identity has years of repetition behind it. You are not fighting an enemy. You are replacing an outdated pattern. And patterns yield to persistence. The subconscious yields to new orders, not once, but through habitual suggestion. So tonight you begin, and tomorrow night you continue. You will no longer drift. You will no longer permit random thoughts to lead you. You are the master of your mind, and you will act like it. You will speak truth. You will affirm power. You will build a new identity, brick by brick, line by line, word by word. Say aloud now, I do not leave my identity to chance. I build myself through repetition. Autosuggestion is my tool. I use it with discipline. Every word I speak plants a law within me. You are no longer a slave to old belief. You are no longer a mirror of the world around you. You are the origin of your new self. And this new self is born in the silence of sleep, through the voice of repetition, through the law of suggestion, through the faith of a definite man. Let us seal this with your nightly affirmation sequence. Speak these aloud now and carry them into your subconscious as you fall into rest. I am the architect of my mind. I suggest strength, clarity, and direction. I persist in belief until my identity is forged. I am becoming all I choose to become. I speak power. I speak discipline. I speak destiny. This is the law. This is the method. This is the medium of power. What you see in your mind with emotion, you become in your life with certainty. This is not imagination. This is spiritual architecture. Your subconscious does not distinguish between real and vividly imagined. Whatever you visualize with belief, it accepts as fact and begins at once to translate into results. Visualization is not idle daydreaming. Visualization is instruction. It is rehearsal. It is blueprinting your inner world so the outer world must conform. Most men never understand this law. They hope, they wish, they vaguely want success, but they never sit down and see it. They never give their subconscious the image it needs to follow. And a mind without image becomes a life without direction. Tonight you begin a new ritual, the nightly vision of your future self. This vision is not casual, it is not abstract. It must be clear, emotional, and repeated. You must begin to live mentally inside the image of the man you intend to become until the subconscious, obedient and exact, builds him into reality. You become what you visualize nightly. You become what you repeat emotionally. You become what you instruct your mind to see again and again, until no other image can survive. Let me explain why this works. The subconscious mind operates in pictures. When you speak affirmations, you are using words, but those words carry images, and those images carry emotion, and it is the emotion that penetrates deepest. If you visualize yourself succeeding but feel weak, the subconscious hears weakness. But if you visualize with certainty, if you feel what it is like to already be the man you choose to be, that feeling becomes law. The subconscious moves mountains to make it so. Every night before you sleep, you must build the vision. See yourself already living the life your definite chief aim requires. Where do you live? How do you speak? What kind of posture do you hold? What decisions do you make? How do others respond to your presence? This is not fiction. This is construction. You are forming the mold into which your mind will pour your future.